What's going on, homies? We in the building again, representing. Let me open up a window here. All right, let's get it in, man. Do a little adjusting on my volume here. What up? What up, Ratchet King Dome? Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me, man. If you can hear me, put a one in the chat. Bernard Benjamin is in the building. All right, bet. Let's make this happen, man. Mr. Limber Channel is in the building. What up, bro? Yeah, no doubt, bro. No doubt. Ratchet. Beast is in the building. We're going to get this thing cracking, man. We're going to get into this topic right here, man. As you know, man, my stream cut off yesterday. And the reason it did is I wasn't at the crib yesterday when I was recording, man. And so while I was recording, the weather got bad and the internet crashed out, man. Y'all give me a second here, man. Give me a second. Straight up mess right here, man. Give me a second here, homie. Got to make it happen. Got to bang on through. Run these down real quick. All right, we back in the building. My bad, homies, my bad. Go get myself situated, man. We back in the game. Back in the building once again. The isolated male is in the building. What up, bro? Psycho Fire is on point. What up, bro? We're gonna make some things happen today, man. All right. I see what's called, man. I start coming on in my time slot, man. The homie AMS. But he is on the East Coast though. So it is 7 his time, man. What I may start doing is coming on at 7, man, because I've come to realize that there's some brothers who really can't get in here early like that. That's why some brothers be coming in at the end, be like an hour and a half in, and they be coming in. So I think I'm gonna start later. I think 7 p.m. is a 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, which will be 8. Nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm gonna stay where I am, man. But they cut my stream off yesterday, man, where the internet went out where I was. And once it stayed out so long that once it came back on, I didn't really want to get into trying to come back on with the same stream again. But a couple of things I talked about yesterday, man, was, how we as black men, man, get so happy because we had one black president, but that's 44 different individuals who were president, and we only got one. What's the joy in that? What's to be excited about when it comes to something like that? Then you look at 82% of prostate cancer deaths in the United States are black men. Ask yourself why that is. Why is it that we're a small percentage of the population, but a much smaller percent of the population than 82%? Even if you're 50% of the population, if you're 82% of the prostate cancer deaths, that's still a terrible number, man. Still a terrible number. But when you go in a convenience store, when I was a kid, we could go in the convenience store and the convenience store literally had food in there. Like you could go in there and buy food to prepare a meal at the convenience store. Now you go in, man, all you have is this combination of fats, salt, and sugar. That's it. You put that combination together in the way they do, you're gonna be addicted to it. So you think about food addiction, and then we always think about drug addicts, but a food addict is no worse than a drug addict. The difference is a drug addict can go to a 12-step program and be done with drugs. A food addict, it takes a lot more. Man, listen, it's the toughest thing in the world to do is get someone who eats everything that's toxic to change their diet. They're not really going to change their diet, man. So I know people right now, man, who think they call themselves healthy. They drink at least 120-ounce soft drink a day, man. They call themselves healthy. You can't be, if you drink one soft drink a day, got some people coming in out the access door out there, man. But if you drink just 120-ounce drink a day, you're not going to be healthy. Find me one man that's lean and fit and healthy and well who drinks one soft drink a day. You simply can't, man. I mean, there's nothing in it. Man, listen, it makes no sense to put something in your body that has no nutritional benefit at all. I'm not saying everything in your body is supposed to give you all of your micronutrients at once, but the spring mix lettuce mix does do that. But you think about it, man, and you got people who go throughout the course of their day, and 80% of the things that they put in their bodies don't benefit them at all. And so you look at that, and then you look at my tax dollars, and my tax dollars are, paying for pharmaceutical companies to give people discounts on drugs that are masking the issues from one problem and giving you 15 other different problems. So also, when you think about skinny pants, man, skinny jeans was incorporated into rap music for a purpose. And I know people will say that, well, skinny jeans, white boys wear skinny jeans too. Not white boys that matter. If you're a white boy and you want to be a rapper and you want to go around with tattoos on your face and gold in your mouth and diamonds in your teeth and all that, man, they don't care about you. The powers that be don't care about you. They don't include you no more than they include the white guy, the white boy who lives in a trailer park. They don't include him, man. Let me tell you something about racism. You don't know no racists. I don't know any racists. We know some bigots. You might know somebody who doesn't like you because you're black, but you don't know any racists personally. You simply don't know any racists personally, because racism is a system of oppression. And let me tell you something else about racism. We don't even know any real white people. We know people with white privilege. White privilege is different from white supremacy. White supremacy is Donald Trump. White supremacy is Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, the Queen of England. That's supremacy. Privilege is just being able to reap benefits in your immediate environment because of your skin color. That's all that is. And even more than skin color, it's not necessarily that white people benefit from their skin color. They benefit because someone who is their race is in a position to benefit them. There aren't many positions that you go to where, you got to get past a black man to get to the upper echelon of any particular company. Seth Maurice is in the building. Sky Weezy is in the building. So the homie Ratchet Kingdom asked me yesterday in a comment. And crazy thing, man, when he asked me this, I had just finished a conversation with someone talking about red pill rage. When I was discussing it, I wasn't discussing it as red pill rage. I was discussing that why does a black man have a reason to be happy? You tell me the one good reason that a black man has to be happy in this society. You understand? I live in a country that my ancestors helped build through the sweat of their brow and the crack of the whip on their back, but still I don't own anything. And that little piece of land with that little square house on it, man, that ain't ownership. You don't own nothing because you own a little plot of land, man, with a little square house on it with a high roof to make it look like it's big. You still don't own nothing because if you live in a subdivision, man, you still got to join a homeowners association and then you got to pay them money to stay there. That's not ownership. Ownership is then you still got to pay property taxes. But you got to pay ownership to be on that land. So you think you own the land. You don't own the land. You own the property. The developer still owns the land. That's what a homeowners association fees go to. Walter Robinson, what's up, bro? Now, another thing is we don't own any corporations. We don't own any weapons. We don't own any. I mean, you got a gun, but that ain't owning weapons. I'm talking about owning the production of weapons, owning the trade of weapons, owning the design of weapons, owning the availability of weapons. We don't own any agricultural resources. You may know somebody down in the country that got a little farm, but I guarantee you their food ain't making it to the grocery stores where everybody go and spend money at. And then you got a company like Monsanto that's telling farmers that you can't use their seed. Did you know that when farmers farm with Monsanto seed, they have to collect all their seed and turn it back in? They can't keep the seed because Monsanto has a patent on the seed. And if you're a farmer who doesn't want to use that seed, if the wind blows Monsanto seed over into your crop, guess what? Your crops now belong to Monsanto. You are infringing on their copyright for their seed. So when you think about, besides agricultural resources, we don't own any educational facilities. We don't own any of these things. We don't own the prison industrial complex. And you can look at that and we have this idea in this country that everything is just happening to us as black men in America. OB, what's good, bro? Kale mushroom, man, that's gonna be cold right there, bro. So when you think about this, man, you sit and you look at the situation and say, when I look at that and I look around, man, and I look at how hard I'm grinding, man, how hard I'm working, man, to try to get ahead and get above, and I still don't own nothing. And then you look at all the people who are millionaires, they still don't own nothing. They still have the same mentality that they had when they were poor. They're going to buy a house, own a piece of land that they don't own. And then furthermore, you look into this, now that we're talking about taxes, you look at how the tax code is set up. All of us in here, man, are striving to get as close to the 1% as we can. Many of us know we're not going to ever get to the 1%. We know we're not going to get there. There is going to take something else in our lives to happen for us to get there because many of us just work jobs. And hey, man, if you work a job, as long as you can live comfortably, okay, cool. That's what it is. But you think about this and you ask yourself, why is it that the really, really poor people don't pay any taxes? The really, really rich people don't pay any taxes. I know poor people, man, who don't pay any taxes, man, don't do nothing but ball out hard all year. All they do is chill. Then they file the income tax at the end of the year, man, get $10,000 to $15,000 every year. Every year they get $10,000 to $15,000. And then I turn around, man, and then of course, I work for myself, man. So then I turn around, man, and before you know it, man, at the end of the year, man, I owe that much. You know what I'm saying? So they don't pay no taxes. And then the upper echelon, the billionaires, the multimillionaires, man, they don't pay no taxes, man. They got too many tax breaks. So here we are in the middle, striving, working hard, man, trying to live a life that only at the end of the year on taxes, all through the year. Every time you look at your money, it's getting hit on taxes. That's if you got a job. With me, it's different. I don't have to look at it, but I had to look at that big lump sum at the end of every year. And I'm telling you, man, what is that to be happy about? Then every time I go somewhere and buy something, I got to pay taxes on that. You know what I'm saying? Sometime when I sell something, I got to pay a fee on that. It's crazy, man. Every single thing here is an obstacle, a detriment to anyone that's looking to be happy, man. And then let's get to our women. I'm the only man in the world. The black man in America is the only man in the world that can say, my woman is my number one enemy and most staunch detractor. Her supposed love for me is fleeting, and she only even fakes it when it's beneficial to her. And then you think about even further than that. Let's say you find a woman who is halfway loyal and a quarter of the way dedicated. So you're gonna find one of two women. You're gonna find a woman who is beautiful but ain't got nothing going for herself. You're gonna find a woman that's sexual but she ain't all that beautiful. Or you're gonna find a woman that's educated and she ain't sexual or ain't all and she ain't all that beautiful. And then we're under the pressure in this society to just settle for one woman. You know what I'm saying? So looking at the prospect for relationships, we're in a situation where we as black men are told that we have to settle for one woman if we want to be accepted in this society. And ain't no one woman gonna measure up to everything we want from a woman. So just tell me, man, how in the world am I supposed to be happy in this thing right here? There ain't no possible way, man. And you look at the prison industrial complex, man, listen, I'm not gonna get a fair trial. As a black man, I'm not going to get a fair trial. There is no fair trial for me, period. You just have to accept that you're not going to get a fair trial because your jury is never going to be majority black. You're not going to go somewhere, man, to have a jury of 12 and 10 on black and the other two white women. You're not going to have that. That's a perfect case scenario jury for any black man on any trial, but you're not going to get that. You're going to be in a situation, and 9 times out of 10, if you're in a situation like that, you can't afford a lawyer, so you got a court-appointed lawyer. The court-appointed lawyer's job is not to get you off. The court-appointed lawyer's job is to get you to take a plea. That's his job. His job to get you to take a plea so they don't have to spend that money, the money that it takes to run a long trial for you. All those people who are going to be in that courtroom don't have to get paid. So his job is to force you to take a plea, convince you that any plea is better than going to trial because there's no way you're going to get a fair trial. And the thing is, as crazy as that sounds, as much as you want to believe that's not true, it probably is true. You're not going to get a fair trial. So you got to sit there and just be there. And when you look at the prison industrial complex, I'm going to be honest with you. Go to Utah. The jails in Utah are full. Go to China. The jails in China are full. Go to Russia. The jails in Russia are full. The prison industrial complex is a universal thing, but in America, it affects black men. I agree with that 100%. But it's not just something that's happening here, man. It is a systematic oppression of everyone who is not in the 1%. So when you think about, let's take Bill Gates. Bill Gates been a billionaire for years. Bill Gates been a billionaire longer than some people, than some of us have been born. A billionaire. Bouncing back and forth with other cats to be the richest man in the world. How many people do you think that will ever get an opportunity to see Bill Gates in person? That's a totally different world. We don't even live in the same world with the people who run things, man. And the crazy thing is, like I was talking about yesterday, man, when Obama got in the office, man, black men lost their fight. Black men lost their desire to struggle. They lost their desire to see things from through a realistic perspective. They start thinking with their emotion. They were satisfied. They were happy. They were overjoyed that there was a black man in the White House. And, now we've made it. Everything is done. We've come full circle. Everything is good. Let me tell you something. Go to a city with a black mayor. That city's almost going to always have a black mayor after that. Go to a city with a black governor. That state is almost going to always have a black governor after that. Go to a school with a black dean. That school is almost going to always have a black dean after that. Go to a city with a black police chief. That city is always going to have a black police chief, more than likely. The presidency is the only spot where a black man got in there once. I'm telling you, it was by design. It was meant to pacify black folks. Because when President Bush was in office, man, he did a lot of things, man, that had black folks in an uproar. If they didn't calm the savage beast, then something was going to break out. So they knew what they had to do. They pacified us and put a man in there. He was docile. He was friendly. He didn't fight back. He put somebody in there that they could trust to get in there and just calm us down, but not get in there and start thinking like a pro-black. Start thinking like, hey, let me make a difference for my people. And they did it. And so now black folks sitting around, man, we sitting around like, hey, man, everything is chill, man. We just, and once you lose your fight, this is something that we all must know. Once you lose your fight for something, you can't get it back. It's kind of like you never see Floyd beat somebody up, man, and then they go back in the ring again after the fight's over. No, it's over, man. It's over. You might see a rematch every blue moon. You might see a rematch, man. But even when you see a rematch in some fights, man, it's because these two fighters are equally matched. They're gladiators, man. And, you don't know who's going to win. But that's rare. We're not in that type of situation. This fight ain't no fight that we got a chance to, man. We got to fight for forever to get a chance to win this fight. But we're not even fighting anymore. The worst kind of battle to be in is a battle that you don't even know you're in. And here we go. We had a black president in the White House. What happened? Cops still killing black folks. And then, I always hear all the time, man, that, well, cops for killing, they kill white folks too. Nah, not like that. You know what I'm saying? Not like, man, I seen plenty of situations where cop pulls somebody white old man, they be going out. What are you pulling me over for? Motherfucker, out. You better not let me out of this car. Yeah, I ain't putting no cuffs on me. Let me call my dad. Man, they go out, they go into it. They roll up on you, man, and you black. Try that if you want to. Let me see you try it. Let me see you try it. Make sure there's a camera around because they finna do something to you and we need to get it on tape. We need to capture it. So when you look at these things, man, you ask yourself, man, as a black man, what do I really have to be happy about in this society? And then I see brothers just walking around all willy-nilly, man, like everything's gravy. Hey, man, there's nothing going on. I'm just going to live my life. Just, get this money, man. Buy me a car, buy me some clothes, buy me some jewelry, go out and party, go out and chase these women. Let me tell you something, man. We're in a situation right now where our lives are being turned upside down every single day. And all we do is sit around and take it on the chin like it's nothing to us. Like we don't even have the right to not take it on the chin. It makes no sense to me, man. It really does. It really does. I mean, it really doesn't. And you say, the thing is, man, we're blinded by pleasure. What we want to do is just be pleased. We're in a society where we're being told that anything like our grandfathers used to think is caveman thinking. We need to move to the 21st century. We need to move forward and we need to move to the 21st century because 21st century is matriarchal. They want me and you, man, to decide that the way our grandfathers were is not the way that we're supposed to be. As soon as we decide that as a whole, many of us are deciding it, but as soon as we decide that as a whole, man, it's over for us. And now I'm done talking about black men. I'm talking about all men now. As soon as we decide that, we should just go along to get along, it's over for us in this society, man. You can't even, if you see a woman and you like her, man, you can't even approach her, man, without the threat, man, of being called some type of creep or the threat of being called some type of rat. Man, listen, you can't even give a woman a compliment anymore. I mean, you shouldn't because who needs to be out here validating them? But even if you go approach her, man, it's validation. If you tell her she look good, it's validation. If you look at her and flirt with her too long, it's validation. We're in a society now, man, where we are being spanked like little boys and we're just taking it. We're doing nothing else. We're spinning our wheels, man. We're here just, what is the purpose of being a man in a society where you're afraid to be a man? West Coast Heretic is in the building. Intense Fit Way. What up, bro? Jay Frey is in the building. Yeah, and let me tell you something about the water, man. I'm glad you brought that up, man. The thing about the water is that what happened in Flint, man, is low-level genocide. Those things don't happen unintentionally. If you believe that something like what happened with the Flint water can happen unintentionally, with the technological advances that man, that's something that happens in like India in like a back alley where the people be getting water out just draining down the alleyway, man. That's the type of thing that just happened in Flint, Michigan, man, a city in the United States. But if you look closer and do some research, you'll understand that the water in Detroit ain't no better. The water in Philly ain't no better. The water in Chi-Town ain't no better. And while we get into Chi-Town, let's talk about the travesty of what happens in Chi-Town. Let's talk about the travesty of what happens in Chi-Town. We look at Chi-Town and they call it Chirac because there are murders going on everywhere. Now, you take a group of boys who have not had any father, any type of masculine guidance in their lives ever. They've always been in a home with their single moms, and then they go out into the world and be around a whole bunch of other boys who've been in the house with their single moms. You take these boys, you feed them gang nature. Gang nature, if you grew up around gang nature, man, then you understand that it is impossible to avoid if you are in that environment. Anybody who tells you that you don't have to be in the gang, yes, you do. If you're in a gang environment, you have to be in a gang. If you're not, you're going to be targeted by any and everyone. If you're in a gang, at least you know you're not going to be targeted by your gang. If you're not in the gang, there's a chance you're going to be targeted by every single gang. So there's some gang cultures in the United States, man, where if you are in that environment, you're going to pick a side. The crazy thing is, whether you pick one voluntarily or not, if the partners if your partners are in a gang, then the other gang is going to affiliate you with that gang. So you might as well just go ahead and be in it. Now, you think about this. All of those projects there, I can't remember. I knew the names of them, but all of those projects there, they were separate. So all of these boys didn't have to be around each other every now and then, maybe at a party, at a club, at a skate rink, or somewhere, at a mall. You destroy all of those projects. You take all of those boys from those rival gangs and put them in the same area, a small area, where they're going to have to see each other every day. Of course, there's going to be some gang violence. Of course, there's going to be some death. That's crazy, man. Now they got, man, listen, they got Jamie Foxx, Sylvester Stallone, man. They got Morgan Freeman. Man, they coming out of woodworks more and more and more. And I'm going to tell you, man, it's to the point now where all this is really just the backlash of women who've made decisions to do something that would benefit them and further their careers. And during that time, there was no come out and tell it and say, but now suddenly, and I'm not saying all of these women wanted to do it. There may be some truth to some of these women, at least a few. But when you think about it, it's easy to come out now and say, well, I didn't want to do that. And I did it because I had to, but I feel like they took advantage of me. They could have just gave me my way. And because they didn't, I'm going to say something about it. Man, we're in tough strides right here, man. We're in a tough position. And so I'm telling you, man, if you out here running around, man, focusing on chasing women all the time, man, then you really are a waste of space. You're a waste of energy. If you're going to be a black man and that's going to be your mission, man, we don't need you. You're a lost cause for us. We're in the midst of a battle right now, man, for our place in this world, for our place in this society. And so if you are feeling like the best thing you could do is just go all willy-nilly running behind, man, it's a travesty, man. It's a travesty. To be running behind women, chasing women, man, it's just a travesty, bro. It's not even worth the hassle. It's not even worth the struggle. It's not even worth, there's no benefit. The only benefit you get is the same benefit the man get who uses the gig economy. But when he uses the gig economy, he don't have to deal with no attitude. He don't have to go on no dates. He can spend the same amount of money you spending on all them dates and maybe even less and just get what he needs and go about his business. So the purpose of the fact that it's so easy to get intimacy from women, and you got these cats still out here chasing women. These cats are out here chasing women like you would do if you were looking for a wife. If you were looking for a wife and you were trying to, if women were worthy of that and you were looking for a wife, then yeah, you get out there, you do those things. But now, man, if all you're trying to get is the same thing that a man gets when he uses the gig economy, then it sounds to me like your life is based around total and complete foolishness, because there is no way that you as a man should really believe that there's a woman out here that's worth chasing. They already show you ain't worth chasing. When the last time you had a woman chase you? When is the last time you had a woman chase you? I'm talking about chase you, wine and dine you, pursue you, get your number, text you, try to hang out with you. When the last time you had that happen to you? Will 33, I appreciate the super chat, bro. Will says classical condition of environment and rainbow government, people versus manhood. No doubt, bro. No doubt. No doubt. So let me it's just one of those things, man, where we have to stop allowing ourselves to be backed into this corner against our own manhood. You see, when you're out here chasing women, man, you're against manhood. When you're out here whining and dining women, you're against manhood. When you're out here, competing with other men, man, for women, when all you want is one thing, man. And then it's not even about procreation, man. Listen, sex was intended for procreation. That's what it was intended for. Period. It wasn't intended for anything else. It wasn't intended for just some source of pleasure. It wasn't intended to be doing some just because you ain't got nothing better to do. It was intended for procreation, period. So you got these dudes out here, man. They chasing women, man, who can't even have no babies, man. You know what I'm saying? If a woman got fixed but she can't have no babies, man, they do still like they don't care, man. They don't really care where they get sex from. They just want it. From whoever they can get it from, too, man. These dudes don't have no type of morals or standards or anything, man. There's no moral code. There's no moral fiber in these cats, man. There's nothing, bro. And I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. If that's how a man wants to live, then more power to him. But I'm gonna tell you a man who ain't gonna live like that, and that's your homie VOA. I don't see the logic in it, man. Give me a minute, fellas. I'm gonna try to get this link for y'all, man. See how I can. Oh, you know what? I ain't even have to come here. So, man, and then you look at the things like this, man. You look at the type of things that are going on in this society, man. Like, how can we still be here after all these hundreds of years and not own anything? Like, how far behind are you if your ass can't catch up in 450 years, man? You still can't catch up. The only way that happens is if you're not even trying to catch up. If you're perfectly content with being in a situation where you're not going to catch up because you don't think you deserve to be in that position. And I'm telling you, it is really true that a lot of men out here, man, feel like they don't deserve to be in a certain position. They feel like they don't deserve to be at the upper echelon. They feel like they don't deserve to have certain things. They feel like they don't deserve to be in certain positions. They feel like certain areas of life are out of their reach, out of their league. The same way they feel like most women are out of their reach, out of their league. So it's the crazy thing out here, man. These cats they selling for whatever they can get, man. In every facet of life, not just one. It's crazy to me, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. It's crazy to me. And I just don't know. I don't really know if we're gonna ever bounce out of it, man. And then the worst thing, man, you hear cats talking about black power. Man, ain't no such thing as black power, man. Where do you think black power come from? Black power is just a terminology that was put together so black folks could feel like they had an opportunity to compete. There ain't no black power. Black power was a war cry. It wasn't saying that there is black power. It was saying let's promote, let's create black power. Now, black folk use black power like like it's something that's out there, that's in possession. No, man, there is no power. You ain't got no power. None. You ain't got no. There ain't nothing you could do in the world to change nothing. Nothing. If you got a job, man, you can't even go to work and tell the people, man, that what they doing ain't even right. That everybody need a raise. Man, you can't work. You can't go and you can't do nothing. It's crazy, man. If you live in an apartment, if you live in a condo, if you buying a house, you still can't take that house and uproot it and move it and do what you want to do to it. Try to blow a wall outside of the house, knock the roof off of it, destroy it. And then you got a house that you still got to pay somebody else for. Show me the deed. I need to see your deed. If you got a whip, I need to see I need not your bill of sale. I need to see your title. Man, we don't even own the small things that we have in our lives every day. Yeah, now the estrogen fest, man, let me tell you something, man. All the sources of estrogen. I want you to look. When you're in the grocery store, look at every single item you buy. And if you're not very meticulous, I guarantee you're buying something with soy in it. And let me tell you how slick they're getting with the soy. Now, when the soy, they don't have to announce the soy as an ingredient. They can put at the bottom, processed in a facility that manufactures soy. It's soy, man. You know what I'm saying? Soy is in every single thing, potentially, that you eat. So you're going to have to be more cognizant of what you eat, man. True black power starts with the black man in charge. No doubt. No doubt. That's the only way, man. I'm telling you, man. The breakdown of the black family unit, the perpetuation of this negative, I mean, idiotic banter between black men and black women is par for the course. This is done by design. If you cannot bring the black family together, you cannot benefit the black child. When you look at other groups of people, man, let me tell you something else, man. Think about this. Why is it that so many black kids are being pushed toward being athletes? Because most times they come from a single parent home, and in a single parent home, the masculinity she sees physical strength as masculinity. She has no idea what true masculinity is. Now, physical strength is a part of masculinity. It is a part of it, but you could, I guarantee you, man, there's some gay dudes out here, man, that swole up. You know what I'm saying? Look like they're on roids. You put a gay dude on roids, let him work out, man. He's still gay, but he look masculine. So the only thing they respect as masculinity is physical masculinity. That's why they're so adamant about, having sex with someone or that's what they relate masculinity to. And so you push a boy out into the world and make him feel like the best thing it has to be an athlete. Let me ask you something. And don't tell me you think it's because they ain't blessed with no athleticism. Let me ask you something. How many billionaires, multimillionaires do you see pushing their children into athletics? And you can say, well, they're not athletic enough. They don't. Man, let me tell you something. If you're a billionaire, you got all the resources. Man, listen, they could turn a dog into a cat. You think they can't turn a kid into a top-notch athlete, man, with all these technological advances and all these drugs and enhancement therapy that they have, man? You could turn anybody into a world-class athlete. They don't push their children into athletics because they don't believe in killing your body to make money. They don't believe in it. They know athletics. They know sports, man, is fool's gold. Sports is for people, man, that ain't got nothing else. That's why most athletes come from poor backgrounds. They come from impoverished backgrounds. That's fool's gold for people who ain't got nothing. You know what I'm saying? When you're a professional athlete, man, you play 10 years in any professional sport. It can be baseball. It can be golf. You play 10 years in any professional sport. Your body is going to be jacked up in some kind of way. Those people don't want that. They want to live long, productive lives. Oh, and let me tell you something else. Sleep deprivation is a big one. Cortez Smith is in the building. Ghost and Wild Black is in the building. The homie Black Ghost is in the building. C. Doug is in the building. Poet Rook is in the building. What up, homies? Jack Carbon, what up? Yeah, I get you straight on that, man, with the promo code, bro. I get you straight on that. What I did, man, I put a promo code. I created the code, man. I forgot to activate it. So I went back in and activated it, man. What I do is I set it up where you can go and get your put the code in, Jack. So when you think about this, man, they ain't pushing their kids into that, man, because they don't want them into that. It's fool's gold. When you think about, man, that black kids feel like, man, all they got is sports and entertainment, man. Come on, bro. Look how big the world is. It's not even the fact that some kids are talented. Some kids are going to be talented in sports and entertainment. I'm talking about when you look at how big the world is. When you look at all the things we deal with every day, how often do we deal with sports and entertainment? When you're sitting in your crib and you're cooking, or you're eating, or you're ironing, or you're cleaning, or you're driving, how many of those things have anything to do with sports and entertainment? All we want to train our kids to do is be monkeys, man. We just want them to be dancing monkeys. We want them to be clowns. We want them to be the court jester. Come out here and entertain me, boy. That's what we want, man. That's what we're perpetuating. Kids aren't told anymore, man, you could be a doctor, man. Kids aren't told anymore, man, you could be the top lawyer. There are no more Johnny Cochran kids, man. Let me tell you something that's amazing to me. As smart and intellectual as black folks are, every time some little black boy, black girl, man, gets accepted into the Ivy League school, it's big, super huge news. Super, man, it's all over the headlines everywhere. Black folks are promoting, man, like the second coming. Man, I'm telling you, they act as if it is to not be expected. And I'm telling you, the fact it's not even the fact that it's not expected, it's the fact that it doesn't happen because it's not perpetuated. And so it's black folks' opportunity to say, see, we got some smart ones too. Come on, man. If that one kid could get accepted to all the Ivy League schools, then every kid can almost get accepted to one. They ain't pushing to that point though. And I'm gonna tell you, man, this is real talk. The Ivy League school, man, is a different. It's a different trajectory for your life. You know what I'm saying? The acquaintances you make at an Ivy League school, man, those are the type of acquaintances that can push you to billionaire status. You're gonna come across someone that's in school with you that's gonna be a billionaire. You know what I'm saying? Look at all the people that went to school with Bill Gates, Warren Buffett. These cats, man, look, they went to school with someone who became a billionaire. And it ain't even about if the person was already linked in by bloodline. It's the fact that you were in close proximity, rubbing shoulders with someone who was of that bloodline. The problem with black folks and what they teach their children to do, man, they want their children, they see their children as a meal ticket, period. It's a shame, man, that in 2018, there are still black families who are sending their kids, man, you're the first one to go to college. You're the first one to start a business. You're the first one to, do this. You're the first one to do. Man, listen, how in the hell are we still having so many firsts? We was in the country, man. Before. Come on, man. I'm not going to get into that, man. Man, we was in the country for all the other so-called minorities. But we can't keep up, man. The bottom line is this, man. Until the black woman accepts the fact that her treachery against us, the black man, is the cause for the fall of the black community. And I'm telling you what the problem, man, this is so crazy. This is how the brainwashing is done. She's in line with the white feminist movement. So as they progress, she takes that as her progress as well. But she don't understand that she's behind everyone. But she takes that as her progress. She identifies with woman more than she identifies with black. And so her allegiance, her alliance, her loyalty is to the women's movement. It's not to black movement. And so that's why she has no idea of what it's going to take to benefit the struggle that we as black men are going through. So what I say is, after a certain point of time, we as black men are going to have to say, okay, we got to figure out a way to do this without our women, because we can't keep sitting around waiting on them to jump into it. Steph Clinkscales is in the building. What up, bro? So, I mean, listen, you think about this, man. Think about all the professional athletes and that have made all the millions of dollars that they made, man. All the millions of dollars, only one is majority owner of a sports team. That's Michael Jordan with the Charlotte Bobcats. Only one is the majority owner of a sports team. That's crazy, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm not supporting sports anymore, man. I can't support it, man. I'm not supporting it anymore. So when I talk about it this year, man, this will be my last time talking about it, man. I will not even watch any of the sports shows anymore, man. I am not supporting any type of organizations that obviously have a white supremacist hierarchy at the top. I'm not going to do it, man. I refuse to. And then the thing, man, look how they set up Michael Jordan, man. Look at the things that they influence his government to do in his state, in the state that he's owning his team in. Look at how they put the people out. They put all the miscreants out on the corner, out on the edge of the city. You can't go, if it's a crime for you to give a homeless person $1. The homeless people can't be within city limits, bro. So that outside the city limits, on the outskirts of the city, is a crime if you give them money. I forgot what they call it. It's called something, but it's a crime if you give a homeless person money. Then they were the only state. I think the All-Star game was going to be there. They were bidding for the All-Star game, and they wouldn't let. I think they wouldn't let the transgender use any bathroom they wanted to. Something, the NBA went along with it, man. Michael Jordan did. Now you can look at that and say, "Hooray for Michael Jordan." His state didn't go along with that, but I don't think it had anything to do with MJ, man. It may have, but I just feel like you look at the opportunity that he had, man, to get money, and that That's just something that's said. How many times you've been to a bathroom, man, and seen a transgender in the bathroom with you that you knew was a transgender? These are just words, man. It's all just game. It's play on words. It's play on emotions, man. That's all it is, man. It's kind of like New World Order. Man, ain't no New World Order. You think about that. Do you think, man, ask yourself this. How many times have there been something really important that we all knew about? All the things that matter, all the things that they do, all the things that they plan are covert operations. They don't do this stuff out in the open, no man, on us like that. Man, ain't no New World Order. They just want to give you something to focus on so you don't focus on what's really going on. That's all it is. So, we just live in a society, man, where we don't have any power. We have all the problems. We don't have any solutions. We don't have the power to create solutions. We don't understand the political system. We don't understand how it works. We don't understand where we need to put people at. We don't want to put people there. We don't know what kind of people to put there. None of us promote any others. The manosphere is about the closest you get, man, to black men promoting one another. Out in the real world, man, black men do not promote one another. Man, let me tell you something. I've got two personal training clients, and I recommended, they're older couple, man, big $1 million house, man. They live well. And the woman, she likes to be in her yard, big, huge yard, man, trees and all different kind of flowers and, bird houses and bird baths and all that all over the yard, man. And she's pretty meticulous about her yard. Her tree crew, her yard crew, they kind of splintered. So she needed someone. So I recommended the dude to her, man. And man, the dude hit me up. And he was like, man, I appreciate it, man. I can't, man. He just kept saying, thank you, man. I was like, dude, you do this. I mean, if I didn't know anybody who did this, I would told her I don't know anybody. But I just said, I know you do this, so I recommended you. It ain't no big deal, man. But dude just kept thanking me, man, like he couldn't believe I did it. Man, I was like, are we in this type of world where, as a black man, you feel like you don't have a chance for another black man to promote your business, man? It's crazy, man. It's crazy. I mean, man, he was literally overwhelmed, man, that I recommended his business, man. Like, all I did was recommend a business that I knew about, that I knew the history of, that I had some experience with, to somebody who needed that service. I didn't even think twice about the fact, man, that he was black. I just knew him. You know what I'm saying? And man, he was like, man, it's almost like he never had anybody black, man, recommend him like that, man. And I was like, man, I need to leave this country, bro. Nah, we can't, bro. That's a good point, Isolated Male. Well, let me tell you the worst thing, the biggest travesty in this society is that we still trying to change shit. We still trying to look at things and say, we got to go back, we got to make the hood better. We got to go in, man, you can't change nothing. We don't have no power. How you going to go into a system and change it, man, when it's been set up for centuries to be exactly where it is? How much information do you have on this system to feel like you're going to change it? The only thing we can change, man, is our location. If we want to change things for ourselves, man, we got to make a move. R. Rose, what up, bro? Brother, we're in a one world government now. You see, this is the thing, man. We keep waiting for things to happen, and they already happen. When we think one world government, we think about one president, one country, one. That ain't what government is, man. Government is just a figurehead organization. Money is the ruler. Whoever rules the money rules the world. So we're already, we've been under one government. The US dollar has been the universal currency for centuries. Now other countries are starting to try to change that because of the US deficit. They're trying to change it, and a lot of countries are pushing back to the gold standard. They're trying to make the gold standard the universal currency again. But money is what runs this country, not some government, man. It ain't gonna be, when it says government, it's not talking about that type of government where there's a president being sworn in over the whole world. That ain't gonna never happen. There are too many killers at the head of these countries who will go to war before they let one man rule them. That's not what this one government is about. Government is money. Money is government. We've been under one government already. So that's why we can't seem to try to create any type of strategy, because we're waiting for things to happen that we're already living in. Yeah, the legal loopholes, man. You got to do it. You got to do it. You know, Stephen Malaysia, what up, bro? Man, I had to, man. I had to. Alphas up, betas down. I just had to tell the betas down. Stephen Malaysia said, "What made you bring back betas down?" I had to, man. I felt like I would let them off the hook. If I just say alphas up, then betas feel like, man, okay, man, well, we good. Nah, homie, betas down. R Rose, I appreciate the super chat, bro. But yeah, the book does mention that, bro. It certainly mentions that one, the New World Order, man. But the one world government, rather. We have to understand that the thing that we have to understand is the president has no power. He has no power. He's a figurehead. The money is what has the power. The money is being controlled by the IMF, the International Monetary Fund. You have to understand, countries are funded for war. They funded Germany, used Germany up as much as they could, and now they're funding the United States the same way. But as you see, the United States is becoming the enemy of the world the same way Germany did. At some point, you're going to understand that and think about it. Look at the few allies that Germany had. That's what the U.S. is becoming. If something pops off, the U.S. is not going to have many allies anymore, man. History is repeating itself right in front of us. And the thing that we have to understand is that money makes everything move. Everything move. And the fact that we're so willy-nilly out here just spending it and blowing it on all type of crazy things, man, we treat money, man, like we're going to have it forever. We treat money like we got it all. You know what I'm saying? Like we really treat money like we got it all. And what I am telling you, man, is that we ain't got none. If we pool all our resources together, if every black person in this country pool their resources together, every single dollar we got, sell everything we can sell, there's one white man that's got more money than all of us combined. Money is not the way that we are going to overcome this thing. That's just what we have to understand is their weapon of choice. That's the weapon that they have. That's the weapon the system have. That's the weapon that the leaders of the world have. They have money. What we have to have is the Most High. You see, we are his chosen people. We are God's chosen people. Not because we're so strong, we're so big, we're so bad. We just lucked up. He just chose us to be his people. So the strength that he has is nothing can compete with it. So until we decide that as men, even if we don't have our women, we don't need our women to be there. We need us to be there. The covenants that God made with us, that he made with men, he didn't make with everybody. He made with men. It's for men to enforce it in their societies. But we have to understand, man, that there is a place for us, and it is right above everyone else. When you think about this, let me tell you something, man. Think about this. We all know that when you find something that the majority of the world is involved in, it's probably not a good thing, because the world likes evil, the world likes pleasure, the world likes pain, the world likes violence, the world likes anything that is unlike the Most High. Frank Julio, what up, bro? So Cortez Smith is in the building. What you have to understand, man, is that when you look at something like Christianity, there is no way as a black man in this society that you can really believe that Christianity is a way that you need to get to the Most High. You simply can't believe it. You can't be a reasonable and prudent adult and believe that. It makes absolutely no sense. You have to be blind to the history of your people with the Most High. You have to be. So even when they say that Jesus is the Son of God, so what? Israel is his firstborn. The Most High said so himself. He proclaimed Israel in the Old Testament that Israel is my son, even my firstborn. So if Jesus is his son, he our little brother. You have to understand, man, our relationship with God is above any relationship that God has ever had with any people on the planet. And we are in this situation. We're not enslaved because, man, they were so powerful or they were so on. You can't even blame them for slavery. It was our mishaps with the Most High. We were delivered into bondage. We were delivered into bondage the same way we were in Egypt. We simply can't understand, man, listen, I can't understate that how much we need to align ourselves with the will of the Most High in our lives. And that's the main thing that happens in relationships. You get in a relationship with a woman, she tries to lead you into that church. She tries to lead you into that system of beliefs that causes you to be docile and submissive. And you gotta they tell you, man, that they'll literally tell you gotta submit to Christ. You gotta bow down. No, you don't, man. God didn't put you here to be no punk. God didn't make punks. He made warriors, man. How you think we were going through the land, man, killing all them people? Man, go back and read, man, we was going through the land, killing all the people, taking over all those lands. It takes warriors to do that, man. Suckers can't do that. Taking our time, always going against God, from the golden calf when Moses was up in the mountains talking with the Most High, from the golden calf to, man, let me tell you how God does not like to be disobeyed. As righteous as Moses was, pick to lead the people out of bondage, man. Pick to lead the people out of bondage. God told him to take his staff and tap it on the rock at Meribah to get water out of it. He did it another way. Still got the water out. Most High waited all that time. When it was time for them to go into the land that he promised them, he told Moses, you can't go because you disobeyed me at the rock of Meribah. You can't go. I told you do something, you did your own way. Get up on the mountain, look over in there, but you ain't going in. If you understand how cold the Most High is, man, and you understand how he is not pleased with this system, but he is even less pleased with us because we have no idea what it takes to get ourselves together. We don't need our women to bond with us. We don't need our women to bond with us. The women were barely mentioned in the Old Testament. When God was giving the laws and telling man how we should live, man, they were barely mentioned. We don't need them to move forward. We have to stand up as men, own up to our faults, own up to the fact that we've allowed ourselves to be misled spiritually. We've allowed ourselves to be put in these positions where we don't want to honor the Most High the way we should, turn our lives around, man, accept our place, and change our plight. That is what we need to do, man. Anything less than that is another 100, 200, 300 years, we're going to be in the same situation. And let me tell you something else they'll tell you in church. We ain't bound by the law no more. We ain't bound by the law no more. Is you a fool? You can't tell me I ain't bound by the law, man. I got to live by those statutes, man. I got to live by those commandments. You ain't got to live by them because he ain't choose you. He don't care what you do. Listen, man, if you're not a part of the 12 tribes of Israel, man, God don't care what you do. You nothing. You can come join us if you want to. And listen, if you look in the New Testament, it tells you that the reason for this whole Christian thing, this whole belief system, is so the Gentiles could have an inheritance with the Jews. So the Gentiles can have it. Niggas out here acting like Gentiles. You out here acting like you got to go through that route. Man, you are chosen by God already. I don't have to go through Jesus to establish no relationship with God. My relationship was already established with him. He established a relationship with Abraham. I'm an Israelite, man. I don't have to do it the way that they have to do it. My history with God goes way back. Can't convince me that I need to do nothing crazy like this, man. No doubt, Steph. 100% seed, man. Listen, it was told to us, if you live by these statutes and commandments, man, will bless you among, you will be the best, most blessed people on the earth, man. They would say, man, wow, wow, wow. Look at what the Most High is doing to these people. But if you do not follow these statutes, commandments, all these things that I command you to do here today, then I shall be pissed. You shall be delivered into bondage again like you were in Egypt, but this time you will be delivered by ship. Tell me what people you know is delivered into bondage by ship. Tell me, man. I'm listening. Punchline Jones, what up, Punch? The bottom line is this, man. We are in a situation where we black men have to stand up. All of this laying around and just waiting and watching and doing all these crazy things, man. Where's that getting us? We're all getting a year older every year. If we're not improving our plight every year, man, then what are we doing? What are we doing? If you can't improve your plight every year, what are you doing with your life? It makes no sense, man. I don't understand how we as black men can sit around and act as if we don't see what's going on, or we don't know what's going on, or we don't care what's going on. One way or the other, we have to stand up and make ourselves available to the Most High. We have to do what we always say. We have to help God help us. That's all we have to do. Help God help us. And the problem is, man, we don't seem to want to do that. We don't seem to be aware of the method of doing that, but it's right there in the word. Now, I'm going to tell you, it's a hard thing to unbrainwash yourself from your Christian beliefs. It's a hard thing to totally let it go. It's hard. It's hard to totally let it go. But let me tell you something. People are talking about, man, you got to believe in Jesus. You got to believe. He never said believe in him. Whenever they tried to make him be something close to God, he always said, I am just here to do my Father's work. When they said, man, Master, how are you so good? He said, no, none is good but God. He never owned up to being someone that you should worship. The man said every single time someone brought it to his attention that he was simply doing the work of his Father. You tell me where you got off believing that you got to go through him to get to God. Tell me this. See, it's crazy things like when you see me, you see the Father. When you see me, you see the Father. He made me his image, idiot. Didn't he say, let us make man in our image? It's simple things like that they twist the doctrine with simple little things to make you believe something means other than what it means. And that way, if you believe that when you see me, you see God. When you see me, you see the Father. Then you're looking at him saying, oh, man, that's how you get to this crazy stuff like Jesus and God are the same person. Well, Jesus, God, and the Holy Ghost are the same. I asked somebody this the other day, man. They told me about the Holy Trinity. Jesus and God are the same person, and the Holy Spirit is with them too. I sat them down, man, and I said, well, tell me this. So you're telling me God sent himself in human form to die. And then when he's on the cross, he yelled out to himself, self, why hast thou forsaken me? And then when they asked him about it, no, I'm not here. I'm not good. There's no one good but me. If you're telling me they're the same person, every time he referenced God, he was referencing himself. So it sounds like, no, there is no one good. No, I'm not good. There's none else good but me. No, I'm not. I'm just here doing the work of myself. I'm going to kill myself. Man, let me tell you something. You look all throughout the Bible and God tells you over and over and over and over again, that he will not give his glory to another. He is the Savior and there's no one beside him. All through the book of Isaiah. So when you see Jesus said that to him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. Listen. For people to believe that what he was telling those people means that it applies forever is stupid, man. He was talking to specific people. He was talking to a people. He was around Gentiles. He was talking to Gentiles. He was talking to people who didn't have an inheritance with the Most High. They didn't have an inheritance with the Jews or the Hebrews or the Israelites, whichever name you want to call us. He was talking to those people at that specific time. He was not talking about after he was dead. Where do we get off thinking that a man is alive and everything that he says applies to us years later, even after he's dead, even though he was talking to specific people? It's not like he was giving. Let me put it this way. We were already God's chosen people. So you mean to tell me that we're already God's chosen people, but now we got to go through something else to get to God when we already with God? Come on, man. We have to understand that those things do not apply to us. We are God's chosen people. Our relationship with God was established before Jesus ever popped out of Mary's womb. Centuries before that. You know what I'm saying? We were already established. So, you have to understand, man, And let me tell you the crazy thing, man. Look this story up. Paul helped them kill Jesus. And then he took over when he killed the dude. Paul was a high-ranking general in Herod's army. He was a high-ranking general in Herod's army. You never heard, man, Jesus had no chop up with that dude, man, when he was chopping up with Matthew and Luke and Peter and John and all that, man. He never had no chop up with that dude, man. That dude took over, man, when he was dead. All his disciples were gone, remember? They got dipped on him. Then some of them got killed too, but they dipped on him. None of them had his back. So once he was gone, man, the movement was gone. Paul took it over, man. And he picked it up. Jesus wasn't talking, man. Listen, man. How many times you heard Jesus, man, go talk to it, go around to all the different churches? You didn't. Wasn't nobody talking about that till Paul started talking about it. Now you mean tell me that here we are? They already talking about God came as his own son in the flesh, and then he hollered out to himself, self, why is that forsaken me before he died on the cross? Now they're telling me that he's going to turn the whole movement over to the very man who was responsible for chasing him down, killing him in the first place. He was a part of that coalition. So now he's going to let that man take over the same movement, man. I'm telling you, man. I'm going to tell you something, man. And there's probably somebody who's going to get offended. Man, Christians are idiots. Like, Christians are idiots, man. Like, I've never seen any group of people who believe so many illogical things that don't have any proof. Oh, but I know why. They got that little faith thing they talk about. They tell you, faith is believing things unseen and all that crazy. Nah, man. I don't have no faith. I believe that God gonna do what he say he gonna do. There ain't no faith. They're just believing that he honest. I believe that God is honest. I believe that he's a man of his word. If he say he gonna do this, if I do wrong, he gonna do it. If he say he gonna give me this, if I do right, he gonna do it. I believe he's honest. You can have faith all you want to. I ain't got no faith. I ain't got no faith the size of a mustard seed. I ain't got no faith the size of nothing. There you go, R-Rose. See, this is the thing. Saul changed his name to Paul. After all of this took place, he changed. See, this is the part I never hear Christian preachers talk about this, ever. And you're talking to a cat, man. I've gone in churches, man, to hear what Christian preachers have to say. I want to hear it. I want to hear it. I want to know it. You know what I'm saying? I want to understand their outlook. So when I talk about this, I can approach the right things. When you think that a religion that tells you to not be the warrior that God made you into, to not even stand up for yourself, to turn the other cheek if somebody slap you. If a man take your coat, give him that cloak also. If a man take that coat, give him that cloak also. Man, I ain't playing that game. I ain't playing that game, bro. Ain't no way I'm playing that game. If you want to, be free to, man. Hey, man, I'm drinking out of plastic, man, so sue me. That's all I got. Got some lime juice in here, man, with a little bit of organic maple syrup in here, man. Just you can't even taste the syrup, just a little bit. So, what you have to understand, man, is I truly believe that everything we think and everything that we've learned, we have to go research it and study it. You know what, man? I'm actually just getting into the Quran, man. I'm actually just getting into it, man. Like, it took me years, man. Like, you got to understand this, man. Man, I've been studying the Bible, man, for about 15 years, bro. I've read it from cover to cover. Like, I'm going my fourth time through it, cover to cover. Like, when I talk about these things, man, when I got called to this, man, I was in the streets hustling, man. I was grinding. You know what I'm saying? When I got called to it, man, I had a Glock 10 on me, man, an AK-47 in the trunk when I pulled up on my homie crib, man. So we talking, man, I was out there, bro. You know what I'm saying? Had a few bands on me, man. I was getting it. And, man, when my homie, man, he opened his mouth and said one thing, man, I had a rib sandwich. I'll never forget about eating a rib sandwich. He said, man, what you got there? I said, man, I got a rib sandwich from up the street, man. I said, man, you know you're supposed to eat that pork. So what you talking about, man? What you talking about? You Muslim or something? He said, nah, man, it's right here in the Bible. I said, nah, man, it ain't in the Bible, man. Because I had never heard it in the Bible. Only people I have heard say don't eat pork was Muslims. He said, man, it's right here. He opened it, man, and showed it to him, man. I was like, I threw it away, man. Like I threw the pork sandwich away, man. I was like, man, I'm sitting here, man, eating that crap, man. I threw it away. And when I went to sleep that night, man, something came over me, man. Next day I woke up, man, and I went on the vow to Nazarite, man. So I was called to this, man, by the Most High, man. When you hear preachers say, I was called to minister, but you got to be ordained. You got to go somewhere and get, nah, man, I was ordained by the Most High. I was called to do this, bro. So, the main thing is, man, you have to understand, man, that, I for the longest time, I thought about opening a church, man. I ain't no greater hustle, man, than a church, bro. You know what I'm saying? All you got to do is know the word better than everybody in the church. And I think I can handle that. That's all you got to do, man. The homie Ray Ezel is in the building. Lit life. What up, bro? Let me see who else I'm missing up in here, man. Man, almost all of them, C-Dub. West Coast Heretic is in the building. I don't know if I shot y'all a deal you self. Yeah, man. I'm just getting into it, bro. I'm excited about it, though, man. About getting into that Quran, man. So, and let me tell you this, man. What you have to understand is this, man. And this is the main thing you take away from this. Anything that women flock to 100% is not something that benefits us. Eve flocked to the fruit. That didn't benefit us. Women don't flock to anything that benefits us, man. They flock to things that benefit them. They flock to things that give them power. And anything that gives them power takes power from us. Power is ours. God gave power to us, to man. Power is for us, not for them. And that's the main thing that's always kept me, even as a kid, man. It kept me from really, I never wanted to go to church when I was a kid, man, because there's always a bunch of women and girls in there, man. Probably a little bit different than it is now, man. Probably a few more men, but churches have always been, man, 75, 80% women, man. It's just always been that way. Now, when I was younger growing up, there were more families, I ain't gonna lie. But then there were also more dads who just stayed at home on Sunday. And the wife took the kids to the church, man. I'm telling you, you have to understand. There you go, Walter Robinson. They can take the easy way to what they can accept as their God. Let me tell you something, man. Black women have a different God than us. They don't have the same God. They worship Jesus. They worship him. When something goes wrong, they call his name. When they want to thank somebody, they thank him. They don't thank God. And the brainwashing has told them that God and Jesus is the same thing. Man, listen, the craziest thing you could ever tell me is that God came in the flesh and let man, lowly man, kill him. Man, God ain't never respect the man enough to let man kill him. He can kill man, but he ain't never respect. Do you think God gonna let man kill him in any form? What's his purpose in letting man kill him? Makes no sense, bro. It's the most idiotic thing I ever heard, man. So that's what it is, man. Sorry, man. I wasn't gonna hold this thing in here too long, man. I just want to come in here and chop it up right quick. Man, if you haven't gone over there and gotten your copy of the Mankind versus Manhood audiobook, man, go ahead over there and get that for yourself, man. You're gonna be pleased with the effort. You're gonna be pleased with the outlook, man. RO self a la carte with man, and that's the main thing. The giver of L. It's just about, man, us rethinking what we've been taught. That's all this is. When you become a man in this society, man, and you realize that the truth of the matter is that there are certain people who are at the top who are doing anything in their power to keep everybody else beneath them. You ain't gonna find no billionaires up in the church, man. And then the church will teach you that money is evil. They'll teach you that it's easier for a rich man to get in, for a camel to get through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. Let me tell you something, man. My God said if I live my life a certain way, man, he gonna bless me beyond all other people on earth. So which am I to believe? Am I gonna believe a religion that tells me the worst thing I could do is get money? Or am I gonna believe? Now they tell me serve and obey your master, and then they tell me don't worry about getting no money. Come on, man. That's slave religion, bro. That's slave religion. Don't worry about getting rich. Why the slave owner getting rich? The only type of thing, listen, man, you couldn't read if you were a slave. They better not catch you with a book, but they taught you the Bible. How ironic is that? You couldn't read. They cut your tongue out your mouth, man, if they caught your butt in there trying to read a book. But they teach you the Bible, though. Nobody better not teach you nothing, but they teach you the Bible. They teach you Christian. They teach you the Christian religion. It's game, bro. It's all game, man. J Rock. It's game. It's always been game, man. That's all it is, bro. That's all it is, man. Let me tell you something, man. I'm gonna say this, man. Then I'm gonna wrap this thing up. I'm gonna say this thing, man. I'm gonna wrap this thing up. There is only one right way to live, to believe, and everything else is the wrong way. The DJ Lit Show is in the building. There's only one way to believe, and everything else is the wrong way. There's only one right way to live, and everything else is the wrong way. There's only one right way to think, and everything else is the wrong way. There's only one right way to eat, and everything else is the wrong way. That's it, man. There is right, and everything else is wrong. It's kind of like if you're going down the street, you can't make a left turn and think you're going right. There is right, there is left. There is right, there is wrong. There is up, there is down. You can't be going up and be going down at the same time. This is the simple nature of the world. So why is it that men are torn through so many different understandings and beliefs, man? It's simple. This is just what life is, brothers. This is all it is. You either walk the path, the straight and narrow path, or you go down the wide road with everyone else. The wide road to destruction. The choice is an individual choice. But it doesn't need to be an individual choice. It needs to be a coalition choice. It needs to be a choice that we all make as a unified front. Because there's strength in numbers. And black men don't have no numbers right now. I appreciate y'all coming through, man, joining me. Join the show again tomorrow, man, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. We'll be back with another episode of the Knowledge is King show. And, you know, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate people coming through, man. I appreciate the guys coming through, man, because I'll be honest with you, man. Casting start coming on at my time now, man. They just start popping up at my time, man. So, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, I'm just going to keep doing what I do, man. Keep working how I work and grinding how I grind, man. But I appreciate everybody coming through, man. We're going to go ahead and get on out of here, man. I appreciate that. DeRay Vicious, Punchline Joan, peace. Sky Weezy, man, no doubt, bro. I appreciate it. Appreciate everybody coming through, man. It's been gravy, super gravy. I'm looking at the camera. I just see myself here rocking like an old dude, man. Hey, no doubt, Adil, man. Appreciate you coming through, bro. Appreciate you coming through, man. Great insight. Ray Ezel, man. Peace out, Zell. Just living, man. Be back on, man. Be back on grinding tomorrow, man. Tomorrow, we'll have a pretty good topic tomorrow, man. Topic's going to be killer tomorrow. I have a video I'm going to put up early in the morning as well, man. I appreciate everybody, man, who went through and got that their copy of the Mankind versus Manhood audio book, man. It was great. No doubt to give of L. I appreciate you coming through, bro. Jack Carbon, no doubt, man. Beta's down for sure. So yeah, man, don't forget, man, when you go over, man, use the discount code Manhood, man. Get your free copy of the Complicated man, EP. I got you, Jack Carbon. I won't forget to go in there and hook you up, man. Oh yeah, I got to look at your question too, man. Been swamped, man. But that's no excuse, man. We'll get to it. Hey, look, man. As always, avoid the haters, avoid the fakers, avoid the betas. And as always, alpha up, betas down. Peace.